So the narrative about you that always floats around is that you're this grumpy, unhappy person, especially in that time period. Was it unhappiness, or was it that feeling of I'm fighting for my spot? Because I don't think a lot of wrestlers come with that mindset today, especially in WWE. I kind of compare it to NBA players versus Harlem Globetrotter players. One, they're fighting to be the best, and the other, they're on the team and they know they're part of the troupe. And I feel like I never have conversations with WWE guys today where they're like, I was in Madison Square Garden and this was the gate, or the crowd was down. And your generation, I think you were one of the last guys to be obsessive compulsive about that, was what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? What are the houses? Where were they last time? And that narrative about you is like, oh, he was so hard to work with. He was such a pain in the ass. He was a miserable SOB.
But who says that?
It's just Twitter.
Some kids
Twitter,
on
stories,
some kids on the internet that heard a hand,
so,
a story like, third hand. Like,
so my question to you is, when you're in that moment and you're trying to better yourself and you're trying to raise yourself to the highest level you can in WWE, how do you deal with those frustrations with all the archaic stuff that you just talked about? And how do you not let it get to you and prevent you from putting together the best performance that you can and putting on the best promo that you can and getting yourself into the position where they'll finally trust you, which took them some time?
I don't think they ever trusted me. And I think the reason I loved wrestling so much is because when I was in the ring, bell to bell, I didn't have a boss. And I always said and did things in the context, especially of house shows, where I didn't have to run anything by anybody. I would literally just do stupid shit off the cuff. I remember when, road to WrestleMania, I'm wrestling the Undertaker, and the first week after I won maybe this is the genesis of the Undertaker.
For that match?
Yeah, so like I remember saying this is a really stupid way to wrestle the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
I forget who was writing at the time, but he got fired like right after that. Like whoever the creative person that was behind that, he was let go by the company like the next.
I just thought it was a really weird, like, oh, we're having this fatal four-way to see who wrestles the Undertaker. It felt like a disconnect. I was like, it's kind of weird, but whatever. I'm winning, okay. And like everybody in the match agreed. It was like Randy and Big Show. I was like, yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't know. And then I remember being in Indianapolis the next week, and I was wrestling Kane, and Michael Hayes comes up to me and is like, all right, Kane, Spike, 1, 2, 3. And I just went, huh? I was like, what? Okay. That's what we're doing? I'm wrestling The Undertaker in 4 weeks, and what are you guys going to beat me every week? Like, what? And he's like, talk to Vince. All right. So I go talk to Vince. And Vince looks me in the eye and he goes, I've been doing this a lot longer than you, pal. Trust me, you're going to be more over as a heel after you lose. And I was just like, okay.
How do you argue that?
At that point, I was just like, yeah, all right. It's not my fucking, it's not my company. But it's still me. And like I said, it was an uphill battle to try to make this match with The Undertaker feel like it wasn't so lopsided. I wanted to give reasonable doubt that, oh shit, this guy could beat the streak. Luckily enough, I did that wacky shit where I dumped fucking cat litter all over myself that was supposed to be Paul Bearer's ashes, and I think that kind of ramped it up. Well, yes, it was cat litter. Yeah, and it wasn't used.
I like the one guy who's disappointed it was not actually his ashes.
Yeah. I'm disappointed it wasn't really his ashes too. So, juggling things that way, like, always sucked. Because at the end of the day, I was like, well, you're the boss. It's not my company. But, like, not to get political, I wasn't like, well, how about if I should beat Kane? Like, it wasn't that. It was just like, how about I don't lose clean while I'm trying to, do this thing? It was just a difference of philosophy, I guess, and he was like, oh, you're going to be much more over as a heel. And I just remember just being like, okay, all right.
Was there ever a moment where you think Vince got you? No. Like, not even after the pipe bomb and the Money in the Bank with Cena in Chicago. Was there ever a moment where you felt like, all right, I got him on my side now?
No, I don't think so. Because it was always a fight. There was always a conversation. And I think that's that's the juice for Vince. You know what I mean? He wants to have those conversations in the personal relationship. And I don't think he ever understood me. You know what I mean? Like he never got me. Triple H never got me either. It was just, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I did what I could.